Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our live webinar of eIMMIGRATION. My name is Vanessa Vargas. On behalf of Cerenade, I want to welcome you to the Client Portal Related Features training. If you are new and this is the first time that you're joining a webinar from Cerenade, we are recording it and we keep the videos in our YouTube channel. We also have a PowerPoint presentation attached. If you want to download it, simply click on handouts and you can get that one. Hi, good afternoon. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining. All right, let's get started. So we do have, let me share my PowerPoint. We do have a short training, I guess. I mean, it's a related to client portal. There's always something new to learn, of course. We do have, remember, a caseworker portal, administrator portal, and for your clients, a user separate portal. And we're going to show you today how to use it, what's the look and feel of the client portal, how to share the access with your clients, and how to send them questionnaires, how they can answer these from the client portal, even though you can also send them a passwordless link. And we recommend that you do so that you can save time. And when they respond, how they can send back the questionnaire, or you can also send them a form as HTML. The client portal features that are considered optional modules, so you probably don't have, are messaging, billing, custom reports, and I'll go over, I think it's on my second slide or third slide, this one, case initiation request, as well as Acuity integration. So these are optional modules that you need to be subscribed to. All right, but the rest, like sharing a log or sending them a questionnaire, that is included. All right, so first of all, let's log in as a caseworker. When you got the email from your sales rep, you were giving a URL, and that URL, I suggest that you bookmark it, is your URL. So this is for the caseworker. Your clients, when you create an account for them, you're going to give them access to their client portal. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Well, first of all, before I show you that, how to give them access, I first want to show you what the look and feel of the client portal is. So let me quickly switch gears right here, and I'm going to access my client portal. If you haven't done it yet, I highly suggest that you upload your logo so that your clients, when they access their client portal, they see your logo and they don't see eIMMIGRATION or Cerenade. And the way you do that is if you go to your admin portal, the administrator, if you're not the admin, you can talk to your administrator, but the administrator has application settings that caseworkers don't. And one of them is called branding on the right hand side. So the branding is where you can upload your logo, which has to be 300 by 70 pixels in GIF format only. Okay. With that being said, let me switch back. Again, this is the client portal, and I'm going to show you the look and feel. If I was your client and you give me permission to log in into my portal as a client, this is what I would see. If I was a client, I can see that you have progress for my naturalization case that was updated a few days ago. And I can just click to see what's been done. These are the case statuses where I can look at what's been completed or whatever you started. And so on the left-hand side, the client portal has icons such as mailbox, where they can access questionnaires and forms. They can also, if you are subscribed to messaging, they can see, um, like messages that you send them, or they can message you back from here. I'll show you how to block that or prevent that if you don't want them to message you. Invoices, again, if you are subscribed to billing, this is where they can see, the invoice, they can see the balance or how much they have paid. And of course, they can open the invoice and look at the charges or expenses. And on the second page of the invoice, they can see the payment history. I'm just giving you a very basic glancing over, but we'll come back. If you are subscribed to billing, I'll show you how to do that, how to share that. Technically, as long as you create the invoice, if they have access to the client portal, they can see the invoice as well. Reports are also a feature that you would have to be subscribed to. It's an optional module, and if you have access to that optional module, then you decide which reports you want to give them access to. In this example, she has no access until I decide. If I go to her profile, which I have right here, and I say, you know what, we created a report that it's supposed to be shared with clients, but it's on a case by case basis. So let me go to this particular client, look for access to share reports, and then give her access to the report. It could be like, like what's the last comment that we added based on the status, or I'm just going to pick passport expiration dates. All right, let me go back and refresh so you guys can see. Now she has access to the report and she can run it. Obviously, it's only data that pertains to her, and there's nothing, she has no passport expiring in 6 months. So let me pick a different report. I'll just pick randomly because I don't know. How about this one? Status and expiration report. All right, so let's go back. I'll tell my client to refresh her screen and now she can run it. All right, so obviously whoever's linked to her as a family member, in this case her husband or the employer, or but yeah, we can see any information that, let me look at this one, passports number test. This is just a report that shows all the passports for the family members, and it only shows the passport number, first and last name. This is a basic report as a test. But anyways, I wanted to show you how easy it is for you to share the access when it's not enabled. You simply go to the contact profile, click on client access, and this is where you just enable or disable. If I want to disable the option for them to deposit money into the trust account, I just disable it or enable. Let me enable everything so you guys can see. I'll just enable these. All right, so let's go back and refresh. Notice the buttons increased because I enabled pretty much everything. I was showing you reports. For those that are joining, welcome. I am barely covering, I'm just showing the look and feel of the client portal. We haven't technically started yet, well, kind of. But I am giving you guys a brief description of the menu and what your clients can see depending on the type of package or plan that you guys are subscribed to. And so if you are not subscribed to billing, of course, then your clients won't see any invoices. Same thing as like share reports or um, initiating a case. So this is another module. Especially this one works for employment-based cases. If you do handle employment-based cases, I highly recommend that you guys get this case initiation request, and it allows the employer or HR manager to request a new case, and they'll just let you know, well, this is for this particular applicant. They'll provide the information for the employee, the type of process or case type, and this can be customized. Instead of sending you an email with the job description and the salary and everything that you need, they'll complete the form, which is more professional. But for you, it's actually better because when they send it back, and you accept the case, the system creates an account for the applicant and links it to the employer and triggers a new case. So if you are, again, handling mostly employment-based cases, I highly recommend that you contact your sales rep and ask about this case initiation request feature. All right, so one more. Acuity is software that you can also subscribe to so that your clients can look at your availability depending on the type of link that you share with them. They simply select the calendar and they can see what options you have available. And oh my God, this is actually my calendar. So I'm only available until next week, Tuesday, 2:30. So your clients will look at the calendar and schedule an appointment um, from here. But you again need to be subscribed to the optional module and have an account with Acuity. All right, let's go back. I'm taking you back to the caseworker portal. I want to show you how to share client access. Let's say that we have a new client or prospect, and I'm going to enter their information. Oops, Renata James and email address renata at test.com. So I'm creating an account for a prospect or client. And once I create the account and it takes me to their profile on the right hand side at the bottom of the menu, you're going to see client access. If you click on client access, this is where you create it. It could be her email address, or I can keep it simple like just the, first and last name, or and the password, I'm also going to keep it as simple as 123 or 1234. Technically, I'm going to ask her to create her own password. In fact, when you first log in, it does require that you create a new password. So I'm going to create the access and send her an email with the credentials. So it's, how to log in. This is a URL. This is your username and password. So it's important that you click on email credentials and then you send an email to the client or prospect so they understand, okay, here are your credentials. Oops, I don't know what I did. You could also copy paste these three and create your own template in the admin. I have an example for clients that speak Spanish and I want to send them these credentials. As you can see, all I did was I changed it from default to my template, which is, Spanish credentials, and it populates the name. I kept the URL as is, of course, and the username and password brackets or tags should stay as is, and the system will change that. So do not modify this manually, and then just email. When you send that and your client logs in, which I will, let's try that. So we set Renata1234. So she's going to log in, and this is what I was talking about. We force them to change their password. So the current one is 1234, and I'm just gonna do 4321 because I don't want to complicate my life right now. Yep, no thanks, and log in. All right, so let's try again. What did I do? Oh, this is definitely a bug because it looks weird. Okay. Anyway, so my client is, of course, barely, this is a new account, so there's nothing here. But let's say that we want to send this client a questionnaire. Well, what I would do is click on Create Questionnaire. And I want her to, well, send questionnaire to Renata James. Now, your two options are, do I send Renata a questionnaire via the client portal, or do I send an e-tick form with a passwordless link? You can do whatever you want. These links work with, and you can send it via email, via WhatsApp, via SMS. Um, Technically, as long as you copy paste the link, however you want to deliver it, as long as they click on the link and they comply. That's the boring part. But today, because we're talking about the client portal, I'm going to show you the option when you decide to send the questionnaire via the client portal. And I'm going to pick the process, or I can simply pick all questionnaires and choose the questionnaire that I want. I'm going to send the initial intake form, or I don't know, how about consultation intake form. So you can create your own questionnaires. And we're going to send at the bottom by clicking save. Someone's asking me a question. What are the steps to create a client portal? So you don't technically create, you're just giving them access. If you go to their contact profile on the right hand side at the bottom, click client access, and that's how you create the access. And don't forget to send them an email, or I mean, you could copy paste via text message. We don't have that feature yet where you send the credentials via text message, but as long as they know how to log in, that's what matters. I'll cover the steps in a moment again. Okay. All right, so I'm about to send the questionnaire to the client, and how do I want to deliver that? I need to send her an email. And again, maybe I have, like another template that's with my logo. It populates with today's date and the client's name. So you may want to create your own templates in the administrative portal so that you don't have to retype this whole thing again. I am sharing the link to the client portal. It's in Spanish and it's personalized. So I highly recommend that you, excuse me, that you guys use letter templates. Now, if I send her the link, now I need to set up a reminder. So the client receives like maybe once a day, once every 3 days, or once a week, an email, a text message, or both. Remember, you have to be subscribed to SMS. But let's say that send her an email once a week, but stop sending the email next month on the 9th. Do I need to send the credentials again? Probably yes, so resend them and then save and close. All right, so let's close that. Now that she has access to the questionnaires, let's refresh. Here we go. My client logs in. She's going to click on the mailbox and she's going to open the questionnaire. Depending on the type of questionnaire, you probably have them available in different languages, and your clients can see the translation, but they can also see the English version here. I'm asking if this is the first time that they contact us. If they say yes, well, my follow-up question is, how did you hear about this law firm? I'm just going to say Google, and I probably maybe missed the second name, the middle name. So Renata Marie, and I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Guzman. Ay Dios. Estado civil. So marital status. Married. Like you get the idea. So your client is going to complete the questionnaire. Oops. Okay. Once they complete the questionnaire, they're going to either save it, print it, and then send it back to you. Tell your clients to print the questionnaires before they submit, because once they click submit, it's gone. They don't have access to that one. If in this situation, she has another questionnaire, so that we tell them in this pop-up window, there's another questionnaire, so they don't say, well, I didn't know. It's right in the place, like click next, and it will take them to the next one and so forth. Okay. All right. So what happens? Well, really quick, since we're here, what happens when they send the questionnaire, once they answer the questionnaire from their client portal and they submit it, you have this icon on the top right corner for these questionnaires that you received, and we show you the name of the client, the name of the questionnaire, and the dates and who sent it. So you're going to open the questionnaire. We also highlight the changes in red, and you can compare if there was any original value here. There was nothing there, so that's why it's blank. And your two options are, well, I accept the questionnaire or send it back. In this situation, I would send it back because it's incomplete. But for now, I will just accept it because I want to show you what happens when you do accept a questionnaire. We're going to take a look at that person's profile and see how the information is now here. Okay. Any questions about how to create the access, how to send questionnaires, how they can send it back? I'm going to continue, but if you have questions, let me know. And really quick before I continue, if you want to give them access and you haven't done it yet, again, go to their contact profile, click on client access, and it should say create. So this is where you create the access. Okay, now let's say Renata, well, now that I have information from the questionnaire, I'm going to link her family members, and then I'm going to create a case. When I create the case, let's say she's here for TPS and all these drop-down menus can be customized, just so you know. It's asking for any external number or case name. My information as the attorney will transfer to the forms. And here's where I select the role. I'll just say alien, next. And I've got the forms checklist and create. So I'm just creating the case so that I can complete the forms and then share the form with her via the client portal. First of all, before I open a form, I click on the name of the person, which allows me to open another tab and I can see her profile. This is where I can add information. So let's say the state of birth is California, country US, and the city of birth will be Sacramento. All right, so we're going to save this, go back to the case, and I'll open the form. Okay, I know this is not even related to TPS, but that's what I picked. So just bear with me. What I'm trying to show you is that if there was anything wrong with the form, like this one, she wasn't born in Sacramento, or maybe she was like, I don't know, moved to Venezuela or like Honduras. Um, let's say I'm missing the US mailing address, and I want her to simply type on the form. I'm going to add a post-it or a sticky note, and I'm going to say, please type your mailing. I mean, you could do this obviously with a questionnaire, ideally, but let's say you want her to review the form and maybe type on the actual form. So I like to use these post-its or sticky notes, especially on the very first page. I like to add a very large sticky note so that it's super obvious and they know what I'm talking about. Please locate these post-its and respond or follow instructions or, um, well, or simply know how to type instructions. All right, here we go. So let me save the post-it or the sticky note, save the form, close it, and share. How do I share the form with my client as HTML? Well, I'm going to select the form and click on Email Forms as Editable HTML. So technically the word would be share because we're not sending it via email, we're just notifying them via email. If you want the forms to be sent via email, it's read-only PDF and they can't mess with it, they can't edit the form. You could also download all the forms. But I'm going to click on this one, email forms as editable HTML. Of course, I'm going to let them know, please log in into your client portal because they need to log in so they can access the forms. And I'm giving permission to Renata. You can only give permission to one person at a time if you are sharing a form, in this case, the I-821. And again, you could have your own template. Instead of saying, this is a default one, instead of saying, we've sent you a questionnaire slash form, blah, blah, blah. How about if I create a letter template that's more personal? I don't have to personalize with letter merge, and you know, I'll just translate it if needed. All right, let's just send this email and log in as if we were the client. I'm just going to refresh. When the client logs in, clicks on mailbox, they can see not only the questionnaires, but also the form. They're going to open the form, and this is exactly why I highly recommend the post-it, because it's right in their face, like it's super clear. The better you do with like, like the explanation or like the expectations, right? So that they can follow the instructions. And so here's the post-it that I added for please type your mailing address, which we are going to, oops, wrong. And I'll just say test. Now, do you see how it's in blue? It's because I'm technically overriding. I'm overriding the information that should have transferred from the profile. So that's what I was saying. Ideally, send them a questionnaire, have them enter this via the questionnaire. And if there is anything that you want them to overwrite, then you send them the form afterwards. Okay. But this is just an example. I wanted to show you how you can share the actual form so they can see that you've done the work, but there's probably questions or observations that you want to convey and have them review the form. Okay. When they're done, they can again either save, print, or send it back, which we are going to submit. Once they submit, we let them know it was submitted successfully. They can close and it's gone, which if you don't know, this is very important. The fact that eImmigration takes away the access from the client compared to some competitors that we have, which recently had a data leak. I'm not going to say names, but just be careful. Um, well, the problem with that company is that if I was your client and I want to mess with the questionnaire, I can do that at any time with no like notification and you have no idea. So the benefit of using our solution is that your clients cannot mess with data until you give them access to. Okay. All right, so I'm taking you back to the caseworker portal so I can show you what happens when you receive the form, which is basically the same thing as when receiving a questionnaire. You do have an icon here where it says questionnaires and forms. You're going to click there, and we see that this client sent the A21. We're going to open it, and we can see that, okay, she didn't respond because they can type also on the sticky note. But I can see in red any modified fields. And again, you can override. In this situation, I'm going to accept, but because she typed information directly in the form, it won't transfer that information here into the system, okay? The mailing address is blank. So just be aware of that. That's why I said send them a questionnaire first and then send them the form. All right, next is messaging. If you want them to message you, you have to be subscribed to the module. If you don't know if you have messaging or not, click on settings, click on subscription details, and then messaging is right here. If if you have NA, it's because you don't have access to it. And if you want to learn more, click on the question mark, and this is where you can either watch a video or follow the instructions step by step. Okay? All right, so I want to message my client, Renata, and I'm going to send her a message from here. So if I click on the envelope, I can go to messages, or on the right hand side, I'm going to click on messages. I don't have anything from her. So I will create a message from here. There's a shortcut on the top right corner. This one, the bubble. All right, so I will send a new message and my client name is Renata Marie. I do want to message also a caseworker. So you're gonna search and select, click done. And now that I have both of them, I can enter my subject. Please see, I don't know, please submit maybe passport and my message. All right, so if I want to alert this person because she's not technically logged in into the client portal all the time, I can send her a text message. So this is a mobile alert and it could go, um, it's optional. I mean, you can send it or not. And you could also link this message to the client profile and or the case, which I will. So I'm gonna pick this particular profile and send the message. Now, if I switch back to the client portal, and we go to, let me refresh my screen. Now you should see the client sees an indicator that we've got one message, and it tells you the sender, sorry, the subject and the date and timestamp. So the client can reply, open, delete, mark as read. So I mean, you get the idea. So they can reply all, and then I'll just reply all and then send. What happens here is that if we look at the contact profile, let's take a look. I'm switching back to the caseworker portal. If I take a look at the client profile here and I go to my client's messages, it's right there. So there's no excuse like I didn't know or right. So I can always say, yes, we did send you a message, which is encrypted and secured actually, and there's no, right, no reason to delete it. But I highly recommend messaging because it's more secure than sending an actual email. Our next module is billing. Clients can make payments from the client portal and as well as deposit funds into their trust account. If you are subscribed to the credit card processing module as well, you need to be connected to either LawPay or PayPal, and it allows your clients to pay through a link. So here, if I was, you know, subscribed to billing and I want to bill Renata for the service, I go to my cases, the TPS, or I can also bill from here, but you need to have a case established. So that's why I picked that one. I'm going to click on billing. And the first thing you want to do is expenses and charges. You need to add your expenses, select, okay, I'm going to charge 200 for consultation, or I'm going to give them a discount, or I'm just going to change it to like 30% off. And the consultation was last week. So now I see it's 140. And now I'm going to create the invoice by clicking here, invoices. So let's add the invoice for Renata, select the expense and the invoice template and create or add. Again, your logo goes here. You can see the name of the client. And I'm going to maybe translate, I don't know, 30% de descuento. I am telling you, I don't know why I can't. Okay, descuento and save it. Now that I have an invoice, she can pay online if I had the credit card processing. But even if I don't have the credit card processing, my clients can look at the invoice section and they're going to open it and it's going to show them again, it's originally 200, I'm paying 140 and I want to make a payment. I would just call them or maybe pay through Zelle or send a check or but if your clients want to pay online, like make a payment, you do need to have an account with LawPay or PayPal. Okay. All right. So next is, oh, how do I deposit funds into the trust account? Again, let me just quickly enable that because it's not enabled. I would need, sorry, I need to click here on the client's name so I can open her profile and I'm going to click on client access. So she does have access. She has access to billing, but the feature to allow deposit funds to trust account, it's blocked. So I need to enable it. Also reports again. I need to enable the report. Otherwise, they can't use that. All of these can be enabled or disabled. Oh, you know what? I'm not able to access this because I don't have a cell phone number. now I should be able to create the access for sending a text message. Okay. All right. So next, I'm going to show you if this person wanted to, deposit money into the trust account, they just need to log in into the client portal, click on deposit fund, and obviously make the deposit. Next, custom reports, my favorite. You need to be subscribed, and again, if you want them to be able to access a report, you first need to create it. If you log in as an administrator, once you log in here, click on report templates. This is where you are going to create the report. You could add it from scratch, or if we have a report, might as well just use it. Okay. For example, we have a report that's a standard report for passport expiration dates tracking. If I want to customize that, then I can just make a copy and modify the criteria or the columns. All right, so once you create your report, again, you could create one report from scratch with your criteria and the columns. What you're going to do is maybe, schedule the report. If that report is something that you want to share with your client in this situation, which is what I'm going to do, make sure that when you add the report template, you click on this client access, either individual or business. If this is not checked, then you won't be able to share the access with your clients. And before we continue, I would like to know if you have any questions at this point. Please participate on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna close and share. Looks like 83. No, you may continue. Okay, thank you so much for voting. Let's continue. So we were talking about the reports and how you can share with your client and activate that. Once you do that and you give the person permission to access a report, they're going to click on reports. They're going to see the report and they're going to run it or download as PDF or Excel, HTML. This is just an example. Okay, next is I want the client to upload her documents. How do I do that? Well, first of all, let's go to the case. We're going to click on documents and I see the checklist. Let me share with my client so that she can upload from her client portal. I'm going to again go to documents, select the checklist and click here, share with client. Once you get here, you're going to choose the client name, click next, and then send her an email. Even though she has access to these documents already, she probably doesn't know because she's not connected. So it's nice for you to just send a quick email. Hey, I need these documents. Again, please log in into the client portal, upload them, and close. All right, now, if I was a client and I click here, share documents, I can see the name of the case or the case number, my name, and the actual document name. So there's no excuse like, again, I didn't know, or it's really easy for them to simply upload the document. And when they do that, they're going to see, okay, this is my I-94, this is my passport, and that's it. So I highly recommend that you guys utilize that feature. Obviously, we understand that not every client is tech savvy. And if they're not, you can always upload uh, on behalf of the client. Next is sharing a log. On the right hand side, you're going to click on logs, and this is where you either add a note or whatever it's already here and you want to share, you can simply select and share with clients. I'm going to select with Renata, click next, and maybe send her an email or simply close. What happens is my client, when she goes to share logs, now she can see that, but it's only a read-only access. They can't reply, they can't delete. Next one is the case initiation request. So first of all, if you are subscribed to the case initiation request, you need to talk to your sales rep because there is a step that you need to take if you want to customize this. Okay, give me 1 second. I have a question for you, so let me launch this poll. Okay, so I'm gonna close because we've got most of you responding, so thank you so much. It looks like the majority of you, whether there's a tie, either plan on directly entering data into the profile or using the alternate view. That's what I would do also if I was a solo practitioner. Of course, ideally you send questionnaires to your clients, but sometimes if they're not tech savvy, or the good thing is that you can send them the questionnaire via a text message or via WhatsApp, or even on your website, you can put a link and have prospects just click on the new intake form. Anyway, so my point is, how are you gathering the data also for employment-based cases is important. If you have a new applicant, instead of the employer sending you an email where you have to retype or maybe copy paste, it's better for you to just give them access to this. Oh, you know what? I haven't linked to an employer. Give me one quick second. Renata hasn't been linked to a member yet, but let's do that. Let's say Renata works at Starbucks, or she will start, start working there. So I'm gonna link and say employer link. All right, so let's refresh over here. All right, so we're going to say we've got a new applicant, and Renata will enter the information for this new applicant for an H1B or L1, or like, you get the idea. So have them enter the information just like any questionnaire, right? They're going to submit back to you just like any questionnaire. And once they send it back, you log in as a caseworker and you're going to see it right here. So it's going to be a new case initiation request. Remember, if you are new and you have that module, or if you probably have never used it before, contact our sales team so that they can help you customize it, all right, for employment-based cases. Now, what happens with the employers who want to send a questionnaire, let me log out, on behalf of, the company instead of you doing it. So the employer is going to log in. They're going to click on questionnaires, and they're going to enter the name and last name and email address for the applicant. And then they're going to select the questionnaire that they want to send them, but it will go out on behalf of whoever's doing it, the HR, the paralegal. Let me know if you have any questions. Lastly, the acuity. Let me show you where to link the acuity so that If you have an account with Acuity already and you want to connect it to eImmigration, all you need to do is go to your, oops, what happened? Give me one quick second. Right here. Sorry. Go to your administrator portal, click on application settings, and you're going to see it on the right hand side. Or not. Give me one second. It's under, well, the calendar. Yeah, it's the calendar option. Here we have a Google Calendar, Office 365. We also have the advanced view layer. Wait a minute, where's the Acuity? Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, so sorry about that. So I'm actually going into the, yeah, it's right here. It's not under the admin because technically you could have different subscriptions, but when you go to your caseworker portal and click on user preferences, then go to calendar. Under the calendar, if you look at the settings, this is where you can enter the information for your Acuity calendar so that you can connect it with eImmigration. And the way that this works for your clients, they're going to log in into the client portal, click on Acuity, and select the question, well, not the questionnaire, sorry, the calendar that they want to pick from, and have them complete their appointment. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about that. You will have questions for sure when you start using or your clients start asking you questions. You can call us Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, except on holidays. You could also email us 24/7. That's our email address or on the home screen where it says technical support. You can send your feedback to our developers, and we have a user's guide, which again, if you haven't downloaded yet the PowerPoint presentation that it's under handouts, you can click here under user's guide. We do these free live sessions on Fridays at 10 a.m., except on holidays. We have a podcast, a forum, Facebook page, and of course, a YouTube channel called Cerenade Academy. If you haven't subscribed yet, you should. So here's our Did You Know section. These are useful links that you can click on so that you can learn more. Just click on the link and it will connect you to either the video or the article. If you don't know, we have e-filing for USCIS forms, the Department of State forms, Department of Labor as well. Please make sure that you connect with Cerenade and subscribe to, like I said, our podcast, our channel on YouTube. And that's it. We appreciate your time and that we hope that you learned something new. Because we have enough time, I will stick around for a Q&A. In fact, I'm going to share with you some of the questions that you guys sent. And before I forget, if you want to subscribe, or not subscribe, but if you want to register for the next trainings, the link is right here. Where did it go? Oh, you know what? It didn't save it. But let me show you. You need to go here on our website, serenade.com/events. Oh, not uh, events. Okay. So serenade.com/events. Here it is, events and webinars. So you need to click on the link. The next one we're doing on the 26th next week is how to efficiently gather your client's info using system and custom intake forms and other tools. So we're going to talk about how to create a questionnaire, how to send that passwordless link, etc. So just click to register just like you did for today's training, but I wanted the video to keep this link. It's serenade.com/events. All right, so now uh, before you go, well, actually, before you go, please respond to this question. I will answer your questions in a moment because I'm opening the report that you guys, the questionnaire that you submit when you register. I'm opening it right now. Just give me one quick second. Okay, here we go. So I have your questions open and you should be able to see my screen. So let me take you back to my portal. All right, next question. First question was client's ability to change information in forms while reviewing. So we talked about that. Just go to the case profile, select the form that you want to share. So we talked about the A21, but let's say the N400. I can share a form and click on email forms as editable HTML. Next one was limiting which clients and staff can access the client portal. For example, limited access for A65 joint sponsors. So that you cannot do. Well, yes or no. So you said staff. I mean, if I create an account for my client and I go to members, I don't necessarily have to give them access to the client portal. What I can do also is even block. If I have any share information, I can block that. They won't see that. But as far as like blocking the access, well, they won't be able to access because they don't have the username and password. Okay. That's how it works. So if you do want them to log in into their corresponding client portal, just link them and then give them permission by clicking on the name of the person, go all the way at the bottom of client access, and then you give them or update or create the access and send them the credentials. This is how you log in. This is a URL, username, and password. Um, oh, Next question, how to label and change labels of documents clients upload. So first of all, in your admin portal, click on case processes, go to any of these processes and click on documents. That's how you can label or customize, for example, the TPS. I'm going to click on documents, and this is where I can customize the documents checklist. So if you want to add a document, let's say proof of address, and I probably want to do it like in Spanish, prueba de domicilio or comprobante de domicilio, and then save. That's how you label the actual documents checklist, this. But you're saying, for example, this one, my client provided a passport in December. Well, if I click select edit, I can probably put something like done or, received, or if that's what you meant, modifying or relabeling the actual upload. You can't relabel this file, but you go by this. So even if this didn't say passport, but it was like 123, or I can see that this was the passport file. And again, you can customize or relabel it. Um, Effective communication via email, text, sending questionnaires, appointment scheduling, reminders, alerts, notifying case closure. All right, so obviously we covered most of those. The only one that I didn't cover today because it wasn't technically related to the client portal, but I'll show you, is the reminders. You click on reminders and then reminders again to add the reminder, and this can be customized. So maybe if you want to notify them about we're closing your case, so you can create a category. So I don't know if I have one for case closure, but let's add it. If I go to my admin under the types of case reminders, I'm going to insert one right here. Insert and then maybe more dramatic. Case is closing. I'll just save, go back, refresh my screen, and now I can add a reminder for this case that we're going to close, and I'll put, the category is cases closing. I want to notify you via both email and text message, and I want that to go out next Monday at 6 a.m. We're going to close your case on February 1st, and I'm responsible. Do not enter completed day because we haven't closed it yet. And then, of course, if I want other recipients, I can just click on the three dots to include them. But this will be my reminder. Case is closing. Um, what you could also do is email them or text message them. So I can say, hey, Valeria, we're closing, your case, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Next, someone puts, I'm new, so everything. How to better instruct clients in using the portal for sharing forms and uploading documents. This is a great question. To be honest with you, the way I see it, if the first interact, when you talk to them the first time, maybe during the consultation, if you do spend time explaining, maybe provide them either like a quick video or a PDF or, kind of like a cheat sheet with step-by-step instructions or what to expect. I think that's what works best because that way they don't come back and they don't keep asking you or calling you, where do I go? What do I do? So that's what I would do is just prepare a document based on your expectations and how you guys work and share that with your clients. Next question was how to have clients upload documents and fill out questionnaire. Well, we talked about that today, but really quick, just give them access to the client portal. And once you share the questionnaire, they're going to click on the mailbox. They're going to open the questionnaire and review the information, change the data. So let's say, okay, what's your LCA or ETA case number? This is the number. I'm going to submit back to the attorney, and on your side of town, so the caseworker portal, you're going to open those questionnaires that you received. In this situation, I've got a business completing a questionnaire, and here it is. The new LCA or ETA that they typed is right here. And I can compare to the one before, what was the original value. But so that's how they can fill out the questionnaire and how you can accept it. And the other part of your question was how to have them upload documents. We talked about that today. Basically, just go to the case window and share the documents checklist and have them upload. For them, it's really easy. All they need to do is just log in, click on share documents. They're going to see the checklist and they can simply click here, upload a document. Okay, let me see if we have any other questions. Nope. All right, so again, on behalf of Cerenade, I want to thank you for joining us today. Make sure that you download my PowerPoint presentation so that you can click on the links and learn more. And if you have any questions, please contact us and we're happy to help you. Thank you for your time and have a great weekend. Thank you. Have a great weekend too. You're welcome. My pleasure. Bye bye. Thank you for joining.